Welcome everyone to a new episode of Rambling Tea Time with your hosts Chris and Kim.
Hello, hello.
Hey Kim, how are you doing?
Fine, as usual.
Always fine with you.
Yes, I'm always fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. What tea are you drinking, dear sister?
I am drinking traditional medicinals. It's called Echinacea Plus
Oh, that's how
with
you say that.
spearmint. Yes, that's how you say it.
What does Echinacea Plus taste like?
Echinacea
Mm-hmm.
is a plant. It's a daisy plant,
Okay.
kind of. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But this tea is more spearmint than anything.
Oh.
Um, I'm
It,
not like disappointed or anything because it says with spearmint, and that's what I'm tasting. I don't know what the plant echinacea tastes like by itself. So,
it's
but it does have an not an aftertaste, but after you taste the spearmint, there's like an underlying tone. Something is there, and I don't really know where it is, but I think that's the flower that
okay.
they're talking about.
Huh. Echinacea Plus.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good for your immune system.
Does it at least taste good?
Yeah, it tastes like spearmint tea. Yeah, it's good.
Maybe they added it because it has such a bland taste that it needed something.
Again, I wouldn't know because I never had
And all
echinacea.
you can taste is spearmint.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm having another black tea, but this is something that I haven't had in a while, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, red rose tea. We
Yeah.
pretty much grew up on this tea.
Grew up
Yeah,
on.
I would say this is the black tea that was in our house all the time as kids growing up.
Was it?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. Um,
And
how
it
is it? I haven't had it in a long time.
it tastes like red rose tea. It took me back to being a kid again, drinking cups of this.
Okay.
Don't give me that, but I'm serious. It's really good. It still tastes the same way. I
Okay,
think
but it's just black tea,
it
right?
is, but I like this over a couple of the black teas we've tried so far. Like
Okay.
seriously, I don't know. Maybe it's my nostalgia or maybe my taste buds just remember it. But yeah, this is
Maybe you
what I
have a
think of.
bias
Most
because of
likely,
your
I
nostalgia.
grew up drinking this thing, and I'm drinking it now for the first time. I think in like a decade for some reason, and I
Okay,
still
let
like
me
it.
just correct you. That cannot be true.
It's probably true.
Say a couple of years, but not, it hasn't been more than 10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been more than ten
No, it
years.
hasn't.
Okay, in a couple of years. Is that okay?
It
Huh?
is. It
Okay,
is.
cool. But still tastes the same way. I still think I like it either with a creamer or milk.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good black tea.
Okay.
It's not the strongest. It's more mid, but it has its own taste along with its tea. It's not just like every other black tea that you could just pick up and okay, that's black tea, and you can't tell the difference. I can tell that this is red rose tea, and I like it.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. You gotta try it when you get a chance.
I'm not sure that I'll feel like all reminiscent of it. It's just
It's good tea.
it's just black tea.
You sorry, it's not your Echinacea
No,
plus.
that's not what
I'm
I'm
just
trying to
messing with you.
say. I'm trying to say that there are a lot of black teas that taste the
Yes,
same.
true. A lot of the whatever brands just taste the same.
Yeah. Anyway, so today
Yes.
we are going to be reviewing a television show that we just recently watched.
Netflix show.
Yes, a Netflix TV show, Shadow and Bone, which is based on some novels.
Yes.
Um, how are we gonna start?
I
We
liked
start
it.
with our score?
No,
No?
I liked
Oh,
it.
okay. You start with I like it. Okay,
I
great.
liked it. It was. It's a pretty simple fantasy setting, but it did its job well. You get what I mean? It didn't need to explain too many things, but you understood what they're talking about as the show progressed. They could have done better with the geography because I didn't really know where everybody is. I just knew there was an east side and a west side and the fold down the middle, and they showed us that map at the beginning.
Exactly.
And then they kept bouncing between certain areas. You couldn't really tell enough of where things were in relation to each other. And I think we had an issue with the passing of time. But other than that I think it was pretty good.
I did not have a problem with the geography
Mm.
on where places were located. I did, as the series got on, have a problem with the time as it passed for Alina.
Right. It didn't
Like while
know.
she was at the palace, I feel like they didn't do a good job of telling us or showing us rather that months had passed. I kind of like got that when she said that to Mal when they met back up. Like
Mm-hmm.
she said, it's been months. Where have you
Yes.
been? Like
But I think you're supposed to infer that for because
it's
I
not okay.
understood that.
I hear you, but you have to show the audience the passage of time.
They could have easily just done
Maybe
it
they
with
did
like the
it.
weather
Okay, look,
changing,
maybe
in
they
my
did do
opinion.
that in terms of, I don't know, maybe seasonal changes like showing trees and stuff, but I did
I
not
think
see any of that.
the way how I figured it was they were trying to show you the passage of time was that sequence where she's down speaking with Bagra and she keep hitting her hand. That sequence is supposed to show you that she's been going to Bagra over each day over and over and over again to get better at being a sun summoner, right? And
I
that's supposed to show you that time is passing as she's practicing. And
okay.
I think that was the only real way you could super tell without being clearly being told that months have been passing. And you're also supposed to see how she's getting more friendly with people there and she's getting more accustomed to how things go on at the little palace and whatnot. So time has been passing. You're not sure how much time has passed, but you assume it's been a month or two or a few months, you know?
I guess the thing that I did like about the show is that I thought in the beginning the world building that they set up, the structure that they set up
Mm-hmm.
was not bad, and I
Yeah,
liked it.
yeah.
I like how they tried to tell each person's or people's stories and they were going from
Mm-hmm.
place to place like that. I enjoy that. And then hearing things though that we didn't know would have been off putting, I guess, because you don't know
Like
what they're
the
talking
ability
about.
types and then the different races
But
of people.
they do that in lots of things at the beginning and then later on explain it,
Yeah.
So I didn't too much want to come down on that part, but I did like how they try to set up where people are from, people's characters and such.
Mm-hmm.
Although I didn't think that anyone really grew as characters.
You mean like I think people grew, but the thing that this is definitely like a part one. This
Right,
is
okay.
and it was very snappy and quick in what they were doing. It wasn't breakneck pace, but it was pace just fast enough and not too slow with how the story was going on and how much information you were given and how much you saw what was going on, and it was good. The
Yeah,
pacing
I
was very
didn't
well.
feel like it was. Of course, there were cliches and stuff that happen. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm never worried. I'm not angry or worried about
I'm
cliches or
not
anything like
as
that.
well because I felt like the story wasn't so terrible that those things were what I was focusing on.
Exactly.
And even though the story you can be said, it is kind of cliche itself. It's this
Yes.
girl who finds out that she's the one, basically.
Yes.
Um, okay, there are lots of those where people find out that they're the one, and
It's
everybody wants them for their own
reasons and
motives.
motivations. Yeah.
Exactly. So the character, though, the main character, Alina,
Yeah.
I I didn't like how I don't know, not that she changed. I did not like her character when she was at the
when
palace.
she became Palace, when she became essentially a bird in a gilded cage, and she didn't realize it because
Um,
everybody was getting nice to her. She was being
and she was
pampered. She was
to me she trusted them too easily.
yes, but at the same time, she was manipulated into that situation
I hear you, but
because
also she was an orphan.
yes, and
It is like this. Her time, we did not see a lot of time of her being in the orphanage,
uh
right?
huh,
But even just that one time where they showed her protect Mal with the letter opener against the other boys, right?
uh huh.
That already builds something in my mind of what her character should be. And then she goes to the palace door and she like is not
She
this person.
well, she people change over time,
I
Kimberly,
hear you,
and
but even before, she's the one who look, she burnt the maps to get on the ship, Christopher. You
yes,
understand?
but
And at the palace, she's not that
at
person.
the palace, she's pretty much being forced to take to in the first place, and she doesn't want to do anything.
What I'm saying, Christopher,
Though you see,
is that
she is still
she,
the same person because she gets the resolve to get rid of the mark because she thinks that if I cut away everything from my past, I can progress in the future. And she's being told that you can help and you can save lives. You can stop people from being orphans. You can save people from this
okay,
war.
but she trusted them too easily. Even though those things would be true or could be true, she still trusted these people that she does not know too
What else was
easily.
she was supposed to do in that situation?
She should always have a mind of doubt as well. Yeah, think, okay, maybe these people are nice, but also, what could be the other thing?
Don't forget she don't forget Kim. She almost got killed by the other Freyden people who were coming after them and whatnot. That can also have been something to that Shadow Man, the villain, essentially, allowed to happen so that she would also rely on them more. Because the entire world wants to hunt her. And the only people who are showing her any kindness, any sort of kindness, are people who say, we want the best for you.
Exactly. You should be suspicious of those people.
But they all are like, you're just like us. You're Grisha. You're like a godlike figure to us. So she got comfortable. You can't fault her
She
for that.
got comfortable way too quickly, in my opinion.
That is
Her
the
change
issue.
happened way too quickly.
That's the issue with the whole passage of time. I would have mind
That's
more
what I'm saying.
instances of her being a little bit rebellious to trying to learn and whatnot. But
Exactly, but it seems that she like acclimated in like a week or some
it
junk.
seems that she acclimated in a week. But at the same time, they can't have the entire show be about her brooding and not wanting to do the
I
thing. You
understand you,
get
but what
that?
I'm saying, that's the issue. The fact that they couldn't do that, but also they failed to make me see the passage of time properly
I,
is a downfall.
I think it's fine. I honestly don't have a super issue with it.
Okay.
You know, I'm not super worried about it. I think it's okay. I understand exactly what you're talking about, and I did bring it the whole time passing. Does it? There's just it's like they definitely filmed parts like that, but it was cut in editing. It
I don't
feels,
know.
it
I wouldn't
feels,
know.
it feels, it does feel like something is missing. Not true,
Yes,
like because like it, maybe the show is just edited too well, but there
is
definitely
it
feels
actually
like
well? You think it's well, but I think it's not.
I think most of the show is edited perfectly and not too terrible or any pacing or anything like that. It's just that small moment of showing her going from yay to nay,
Okay,
but it's sped
that
up.
small moment is really important though.
But
Her
it's
time
can't
there is really important.
and her learning how to do a thing is really important. That's why they were always like hounding her. You need to get this. You need to. That's the whole point. That's why they brought down all that pressure on her. Is like you need to quickly get this thing under control because you need to know how to defend yourself. You need to take down the fold, and you need to be able to prove that you're this person that everybody sees you are. He sees you as,
I
you know.
guess.
And she fell into the trap that they had set up for her, right? That Shadow Man had set because
Mm-hmm.
she
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, and all the other Grisha didn't know.
Okay,
Cause
but
how can
his
you can't?
mother knew.
Now that is something that I want to
I
discuss
Why didn't she say anything
to
or
anybody
do
else
anything?
or anything else like that.
We only see that she may have her own set of people that one time.
Yes,
I mean, that part is also
Bagra
lacking, is
holding back
lacking.
information is kind of what allowed the plot of the other half of of the show to occur. Because if Alina knew what Alexander Kerrigan, if she knew about what who he actually was from Bagra at first, then she wouldn't have gotten as close to him, and she would
Exactly.
have been
Why didn't
more
she tell
hesitant.
her from the beginning when she was teaching her?
I don't know.
It's like, don't get too close to this person, you
The only
know?
hint she got was from
Jenya,
Jenya, and
that
then
wasn't good enough either.
exactly, and
And I mean,
then
actually, no. It was actually pretty good.
like
Be
don't trust
be
powerful men.
wary of powerful men,
Mm-hmm.
right? The most powerful guy is that one there.
Shadow
She
Man.
kind of too easily turned from her, like, I don't know how old she is, but she's supposed to be a teenager who had like this love for this other guy and realized that she loved him, but
It's
then she's all like,
cliche.
I'm gonna throw it away, and now she's pining after this old arse man who I can't
She didn't
understand the
know he
change. The
was an
change
old
was
arse man.
again the change was too quick. Her in her feelings.
Her, you, the whole removing the scar off of her
I
that she
get that,
got
but what I'm
is
saying
about her
is
throwing away her past and just going through. That's where her change
I
initially
feel like it
occurs.
happened too quickly,
Maybe,
though.
but it happened. But let's stop talking about Alina and let's talk about the
Let's
best character.
Mal.
Yes.
So Mal has action scenes that are great.
Yeah. He has his own weird story as well.
I mean, we don't know anything about the books, but I wish that Mal was also
A
a
Grisha.
Grisha or
But
something.
we
Remember, it's
think
my
he's
theory.
think that he
Yes, my
is
theory that he is
because he says he
maybe a what you call it, an
amplifier,
amplifier.
or something else because he said that whenever he used to hold her hand, he used to hear that noise in his head, the same noise that he heard that the stag makes. And, that's and then when they find the stag, he hears the sound and he like turns around. So it's like he's hearing something
Right.
that nobody else
He
is
has some
hearing.
kind of capability or that
Yes,
we
because
don't
he
really know
also
about.
wasn't tested.
Right.
So maybe
I
he
have high hopes for him.
and
He's best character
you did bring up that he might be after from the first moment because who
on
was
the
she
ship.
holding?
Right. When she was on the ship in the beginning and the monster
And her
tried to
power
drag her
flied out.
away, he grabbed onto
And
her
her power flied
and
out.
exactly then she shined, whatever. Yes, that's what happened. That's why I thought
He
he
must
was
probably an
it.
amplifier. I like Mal. He went up. He lost his friends though. Oof. He almost died multiple times.
Yeah.
No, literally got
Here's the
stabbed
thing. Do
so
you
many
remember
times.
that time? It's later on. I can't remember what episode, but he's captured, and then Kerrigan is all like, "I'm not gonna kill you." He's all like, "I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna make you suffer by
That is
time."
so
It's
much
like, dude,
nonsense.
it's
Like,
dude, you need to kill the main guy. Why do what do you call them? Antagonists always not do their job.
I
They
don't
don't get rid
know.
of the hero at all. This just
And
failing at
Mal
being a
is
villain.
the hero.
Yeah. I mean, Alina's okay, but Mal,
Mal
let's be
though.
honest. Let's be honest. The best character of this show is not the main character. Although
She's
he
fine.
is a main
He is a main
character,
character, but he
he
isn't.
is he is a main character
Yes,
and the best character.
I got you. All right. What about our other crew?
Jesper,
Jesper, Kaz,
Jesper,
and
Kaz, and
what's her name now? Inej.
Inej.
Yes, Inej.
Yeah. So I
They
like them.
they were an interesting group, and I
Yeah.
liked how their whole entire plan was to kidnap Alina, and then
She
she just
just
literally
got
fought.
into the back of the thing on her own, but she did not know. She was just trying to get out of there.
She was trying to get out the palace, and they just happened to be there, and they're like, "Well, we failed our mission. We have to
I
leave."
love the part where Jasper's just like,
What the
ask
heck?
me. Just ask.
Just
Just ask. It's like it's so funny. It's like
yeah.
what, what are we gonna do? It's like,
They're
don't worry about it.
definitely going to show back up in.
Obviously, they're they're main characters as well.
Yes,
They're the supporting
they're
cast.
well, their entire plot ran directly from the beginning as the secondary plot to the
Right.
main plot, and until they intertwined, and are probably going to intertwine later. And Nina and Matthias,
Yeah.
kind of a weird side plot thing, but it feels more like this is something that showed up in a book, in one book, that ran directly as the third plot that just kind of ran long and then is probably going to be continued because their story is rather short for what we get.
It seems
And
short to
and
us, but their
remove
journey is just as long.
yes, their journey is very long, but it's kind of removed from the overall other plots of the story.
Right.
And it only interconnects at the very end because all of our main characters are
Are on
now on
one
the
ship.
same boat, and
Right.
that's where it ends. So I kind of like that. I really liked how the show, or I guess the books, did the whole interconnectivity of how just passing and characters just walk by one another, that type of situation. I always like that.
Do you?
You do. Because now they're on the boat, so now that's the whole crew of people we've been following. And
Except for the bad guy who walked out of the, what do you call it? The fold. I was just about to call it the
Mr.
void.
Alexander Kerrigan. Him as a bad guy he was a good bad guy, except for the few mistakes he made. And you understand why he did what he did. And I can see he's one of those good bad characters in that you understand their motivations and why they want to do what they
Okay,
do.
okay. I'm not about understanding bad
No. I
guys.
just mean I don't. I hate cartoonishly evil people. You know what? Because it's boring. At least you know why he did what he did and why he's doing what he wants to do. And you can. And in another story, he would be the hero of his own series and novels or whatever nonsense, or
Uh-huh.
an anti-hero at worst. But yeah, I liked him. I liked the actor too. He did a good job. I like him and Kaz, that altercation that they had in the alleyway. But Alexander needs to kill the people he needs to kill. Mal should not be alive.
Yeah.
Mal should be in a still dead in that ship. Straight
It's
up.
really it happens, right? Because we have to see again, but they need to have an altercation,
Mm-hmm.
but
And their
we also have
altercation
to
was
have
pretty
both
good.
of them like survive.
Yes.
The question is, why even write into the story
Have
that
them meet.
he's held captive
No.
then? Because if that's going to be the altercation, but the bad guy doesn't kill the guy,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, is he really doing his job as a villain?
He thinks he's still a good guy. And the reason why he kept Mal alive was for Alina's sake. Pretty much. He kept him alive because if he's alive, he has somebody he can threaten to keep Alina in place. That's the reason. It's a hostage situation, and that's where you keep hostages. It's the only way to keep the other person that you have essentially at this point in the show as a slave keep doing what you want them to do.
I also hate that, what do you call that? Is that a trope?
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it
It's pretty much
trope.
cliche.
I also hate that whole hostage trope. I'm going to have you look on
I
as I do whatever with
What I
this
would
person.
have preferred is if he thought he killed Mal, but Mal lived. That would have been better, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because
because
it would
then
show that
Alina would have been like, okay, I don't have anyone else. She would have probably gone into full despair and then be like, you know what? I am going to become overpowered. You know, like I don't have anyone to rely on, so I just got to do it myself. And maybe she would have come out of that despair a stronger person.
she pretty much did that when Stag showed up. It was all like, "You're my son," and that's how I felt. It felt like that Lion King scene. Remember who you are, and then she
Yeah,
got up. You, everybody's asking me who I am. This is who. Boom. It was definitely a Lion King moment. That's what I'm
it
calling
was.
it.
Yeah.
It was great. Uh,
Do you have any favorite
any
scenes?
favorites? I liked when Mal and Kurgan fought in the
When was
fold,
that?
when they were in the fold, and they were like
Oh,
fighting on the ground and rushing about, and then
oh, he
Kerrigan
says
starts the
that
monologue. He's
he's not
again,
gonna kill
I'm going
him.
to, I'm not, he's like, you can't kill me. You can't kill me. I've lived for so long and so many years. You can't kill me. And then Mal just lets us in. I don't need to kill you, Shadow Man. Your past will do so for me. And one of the creatures in the fold just grabs Kerrigan and just carries him away.
Yeah.
It was great.
I have a question about the full.
Hmm.
Also, I don't think I have a favorite scene,
Okay.
but also I don't know. Oh, that scene. Let me get back to what I'm saying.
The
The
fold.
scene, I'll get back to the full.
Okay.
The scene where Matthias and Nina are walking on the ice.
You called it.
Aren't I amazing?
Yes.
I said that it was going to break and it did, and I'm
I
proud of
thought
myself.
it would have been too cliche because they're there dancing
The
about on
show
a
is
glacier.
filled with a lot of cliches though.
That it works to its advantage, and it does a good job with what the cliches that it's at. But I thought, no, they're not gonna have a scene where they're out on ice and she's gonna fall through, and then she literally falls through as Kimberly's saying. I was like, oh, okay.
Right. Let me get to the foal and then another thing. If the foal is destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
the monsters that are in the foal get destroyed as well?
Yes, the monsters can't exist without the fold.
Well, did you see when at the end Mr. Kerrigan is all like follow?
Yeah, because I'm guess he's now like incorporated into the fold and he's using it as part of his power. Since
I
it
have
is
a
his
I
power,
have another question. If he's killed, does the foal get destroyed or disappear?
hmm.
Since he's the one who created it, it's his power. Or
And
is that power because it exploded out of him? Is it?
he couldn't control or he
But
control
now
it.
he can. So
So
what
if
is
he
that
dies, I
exactly?
don't think if he dies the fold disappears.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think that
It
would
exists on
happen.
its own.
I think the fold exists on its own, and he realized while he was in the fold that he
It
could
can also,
control it.
right, control it. Okay.
It's been years and years and years now, and he probably never really thought he could. But with the altercation and the mess up with Alina's powers, we don't know what may have happened to him after he got grabbed by that monster and then he walked out. But he now has control of the fold, and it makes sense because it came from him in the first place.
Right.
So, like I said at the end, Satan isn't going to die in hell. You get it? And he's pretty much created his own hell. Why would he die in? He can't die in there. That's his own. That should be his own playground of all things. Like he said at the beginning of the show, just because he's a shadow user, he would just add to it. And since it literally came from him, so no.
Okay. My next question is when Mal was in the forest and he encountered the stag,
Hmm.
he didn't just leave after seeing the stag.
We
We
don't.
don't know
We
what
don't
happens
know.
after that. But if that's
Remember?
what it's like, oh, I saw the stag. Let me go and tell everyone. It's like, what? You just leave?
Well, he can't kill it because whoever
No,
kills
he
it
he
or
don't
like I
need to
don't
have done
anything.
anything, but did he approach it? Did he
We
touch
don't
it?
know.
You're telling me that he just looked at it,
As
saw
like,
it,
it's like,
they saw each other,
uh-huh.
and then just left?
Then the stag went about its business because the stag, Alina's been dreaming about the stag, and the stag is some
I thought
magic.
that Mal would be the stag,
Magic. Remember me
the
saying,
true stag.
yes, Mal
Show
is
them your
the.
stag power. I just like saying the word stag. Anyhow, it would have been great if he was the stag too. Honestly, I think the stag might have recognized him as well.
I think that was something that was knocking around my head. Maybe the stag recognized Mal as being worthy of his power as well.
You never know. Stag is
So,
dead now.
and we don't know if Mal is a Grisha either. So, who
Right.
knows? Who knows?
Again, there was no real character building.
I mean, characters they changed, they got betrayed, they got back. Character-wise, Mal probably stayed the
He
most
stayed the
stagnant.
same.
Get it?
No,
Stagnant.
stagnant. Stop it with that. He wasn't stagnant. He was just
he
consistent.
was
He
he
already
was
was who he is. He
yes,
did not need to
and he didn't
change.
grow. I guess if you were looking for character growth in such a way, I
There wasn't
guess
really any
Alina
to
probably
speak
the
of.
person who grew the most since she probably went through most of the most crap being kind of thrown at her. The situation changed, being taken, the fact they find out they have an ability, everybody putting all this hope on you, throwing away your past so you could try to go forward, being found out that you're being betrayed by the person who you thought you could trust, and then coming out on top of it being like, I am going to use this for my own well-being. That is character growth, Kimberly, no matter what you think. She had the most growth as a character.
Okay, there's something I have
Kaz
to say about her. Hold on,
slowly
hold on.
as well.
We'll get back to Kaz. Hold on. So, Alina
Uh-huh.
seemed to not have felt any way when her comrades got killed
She
off
said
the boat the
she freaked
first
out
time.
when it first happened. She was like, "Oh God, my friends are dead. I got them killed. Oh God." She freaked out. She did.
Did she?
Yeah.
When was that?
Very next like few scenes after when you see her after the carnage. When she woke up, remember? When she woke up, she was like, "Oh my God, my friends, blah 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 blah."
No, I don't
It
remember.
was a very short scene, but she
Also, I
did
felt like
show
she should have
care.
been more remorseful,
It
considering she burnt the maps to get on, and then her whole crew had to go on as well.
Yes, and then they
It was
died.
kind of like,
But I don't think she had a lot of time to be remorseful because Sun Power's taken by the Black Shadow Man.
okay, okay,
Then the whole being taken away from Mal, and then yeah,
okay,
there
okay.
was enough
So
time for those random characters that showed up for like one, two, three scenes. So no,
back to Kaz being
Kaz,
changed.
yeah,
He
he had
changed.
a bit of character development. I liked how the actor who played him, he did a really good job. And
You mean his forever scowl?
yes, he
Okay.
I've never read the books, but that is how Kaz is. You understand?
Um,
You know how you feel that way is like when an actor just brings across a character and he's like, okay, yeah, that person is Kaz. It just felt pretty natural and good. I
I
liked him.
see.
Jesper was great. I like Inej as well. They didn't. I'm not sure how the weird slavery type thing goes on in the world, but you see people with marks and you could buy people and trade people and things like that. Seems rather well, I guess because it's like semi-middle, not Middle Ages, but like you know what I mean,
I
right?
don't know what you're trying to
The
say.
setting, because it's like there's like slavery going on, and there's like the gun only just got introduced, and all the
The machine
machine
gun.
repeating rifle, as they call it.
That's right.
But yeah,
All in all,
I liked the show. I enjoyed it, and I'm
hmm,
looking forward to whatever season 2 they may have.
hmm.
I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was quick, snappy, and to the point. Could it have done more things? Yes. Did it need to do more things? Yeah, but at the same time, was it good? Yes, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. I also enjoyed it. However,
Mm-hmm.
It has those parts that I didn't.
Are critical about? That's fine.
Yeah, I think it could have done much better.
Hmm.
I also read that it was changed some from the books.
Yeah. Some
So,
things were changed from the books, but the author is on board with more. She's there as far as I know. So and she's working in like with the actual production of the actual show. So she's
okay.
okay with most changes that's happened. And I've read some few things where she's like she's happy with the changes. So
Well, overall for me, I'd give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 7.5.
I don't like doing halves.
Me neither.
6.
8.
Wow. I
Yes.
went down and you went up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good.
It's not that good though.
It's not
Come on. What is
amazing,
wrong with
amazing,
you?
but it's solid. Like, I'm not going to, like,
It's okay.
it's solid. And it has potential to be even better. That's why I'm giving it an 8. The 8 is for the potential
No, you
that I
don't
see.
score for potential.
I am scoring for potential in
You have
this
to
case.
score for what you see.
What I see is a 7.5. It's rough around the edges.
Okay. Okay.
It's good.
So you would recommend it?
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend that everybody go and watch Shadow and Bone if you're interested in a simple hero's journey come fantasy story that's done efficiently well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's it.
that's it. That's our review, and bye bye to you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.